Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com, and I want to talk about uh, your firearms under martial law conditions. And the one thing I want to talk about on this video is do you give up your firearms when they request it, or do you not? Is it, and if, but this is things you have to think about now. Now, and every situation is going to be different. Uh, Now, we're going to start with the really a tough one, and that's going to be when they come to your household and they ask for firearms, or they might not ask, they might demand your firearms. Okay, now you got to make a decision. Are you going to do this or not? This is where militia comes in. As a militia, they can't, it's not you as an individual. They're intimidating and they're telling you what they're going to do. But as a militia, there's a group of you. So now it's a little different. When you have a group of people that are well armed, trying to demand stuff from them is a whole lot different than individuals. This is why martial law in the United States is going to be a little different than what it is outside the United States. But if they come into your house, now what you need to do is you have to make a decision. Are you going to give them your firearms? What you need to do in all these cases, if you decide that you're going to give up your firearms, you need to try to video it. Video the situation, who it is, who's in charge, who it is that's demanding that you turn over your firearms. And then you want to really, it's best to get it in writing also. Get a piece of paper, write down who's in charge, and then the serial numbers and of your firearms, the kind of gun it is, and the serial numbers on it, and date it. And like I say, if it's military, make sure you get their name, rank, serial number. If it's law enforcement, get their badge number, and make sure you get who's in charge. And but that's a big thing when they're coming in your house to get all this stuff. That's really a no-no. But when it's you by yourself and you're facing a bunch of people that are well armed, it's always best for normal people to do as you're told when you are outgunned. I don't care who is outgunning you. More than likely, it's to your best interest to go along with it. And now, if let's say you're walking down the street, like I say, you shouldn't be carrying a rifle unless you're part of a militia. You are doing your militia job and you're carrying a rifle. That's another story. It's not you that they're talking to. They're talking to the militia. And this is why I talk about having the family band radios. So then one thing, you shouldn't be by yourself. When you're doing your militia stuff, you should be in twos or threes. And you should have radios so then you can communicate with each other. And somebody, if you're in a militia, you'll know all this stuff. You'll be able to communicate with somebody to get some backup. And but like that, you shouldn't give up your firearms. But if so, then you do the procedure that I mentioned before, because it's going to be kind of scary. There's three of you, and there might be 100 of them, and armored vehicles with full autos and all this kind of stuff. Now you got to make up your mind. Are you going to stand as a militia member, or are you going to give up your firearms? Okay, so these are things you need to consider. This is why we don't have one firearm. And that's why you don't have different guns of different calibers. You try to stay within a handful of different kinds of calibers. Okay, now, if you're driving on the road and you come to a checkpoint, oh man, checkpoints are the scariest for me. It's been the scariest. When I'm out of the country, you catch me in the jungle, you catch me in some, like out here, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. They can put up a checkpoint. I have no backup. I have nothing. And now, do you turn over your firearms at that time? You better have a good plan. You better know what to say, how to say it, and all that stuff. I've made videos on that, not specifically what's going on now in the United States, but I have talked about all the stuff that I have done. And but anyway, this is something you need to think on also. And because, like I say, if you're on the road, you give up your firearms, now you're going to where? Unarmed. So do you want to go wherever you were going unarmed? Are you going to town to do grocery shopping? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you're going to meet other militia members. Maybe you are in transit. You're a refugee. I made videos talking about how to be a refugee. These are different situations that you're going to be on the road with. Is your family with you? Are you traveling as a caravan, as a group? There's a lot of things that you're going to have to consider if you're on the road and you're stopped. And who are you stopped by? Are you stopped by military? Are you stopped by militia? Are you stopped by gangs, bandits? These are things that you have to consider. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.